Push-pull legs is a 3-day rotation of workouts, but what if you lift weights 4 days a week? It means you have to double up on one of the workout days. Question is, how do you do it? Well, there are a few different ways to do a 4-day PPL routine, and I'll go over each of them in this video. I'll talk about the difference between compound and isolation exercises and how they fit into your workout routine. I'll also talk about focus muscle groups and how to keep track of them to achieve a more balanced physique. But before we dive in, let me introduce myself. My name's David, and on this channel I talk about using fitness to improve holistic health. So if you want to get in better shape or change your habits to improve in mind, body, and spirit, keep coming back for more content like this. Option number one for doing a 4-day push-pull legs routine is to alternate training and rest days. Very straightforward to schedule, 1 day on, 1 day off, 1 day on, 1 day off, and you repeat that indefinitely. This is not my favorite schedule to go with. Couple different reasons. The first being you have to wait 6 full days before you train the same muscle group again. And while I do think there are some benefits to having so many rest days, I don't think most people will need 6 full days of rest. It's essentially like you're leaving gains on the table because you're pretty much skipping workouts when you don't hit each muscle frequently enough. The second reason I don't really like it is if you plan your entire month's workouts in advance, what happens when you have to miss one of the scheduled workouts? That means you have to erase the entire month's schedule and rewrite, since every single day you're alternating between training and rest. I guess the upside here is you get so many days of rest in between same muscle group workouts that it's hard to mess it up. What I mean is you don't have to worry if my muscles are fully recovered because they always will be by the time you train the same muscle group again. The second option with doing a 4-day PPL routine is to schedule 4 days on, 3 days off, then repeat. Now, the main issue here is that you're training 4 days in a row. Now, some of you might actually prefer that, especially if you work a 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. That way you can get all your training done Monday through Thursday. That frees up Friday, Saturday, Sunday for you to have a balanced life, do other things. The main issue is that sometimes the muscle group that you train on Monday will not be fully recovered by the time you reach Thursday. Now, that is 72 hours of rest between those workouts, which it's generally advised to rest that amount of time. But there were plenty of times when 72 hours simply was not enough, especially if I went really hard on Monday. Now, this is where focus muscle groups come into play. As mentioned before, since PPL is a 3-day rotation of workouts and we're now training 4 days a week, that means we're doubling up on one of the push, pull, or leg days. In this case, every Monday and Thursday are same muscle group workouts. The idea of a focus muscle group is simple, just like how it sounds. You focus on a specific muscle that day. We can do this a few different ways. You can lift heavier for that muscle. So for instance, you start with heavy bench press, that focuses more on your chest. But if you were to start with heavy shoulder press, that would focus more on shoulders. You can do more total volume for the exercises that target that muscle. So you can incorporate isolation exercises, which I'll talk about here in a little bit, or you can prioritize certain exercises at the beginning of your workout when you have the most energy. For instance, you start with compound movements that hit the specific muscle you're trying to target, as opposed to waiting till the middle or the end when you're a little bit gassed out. By doing a focus muscle group, you're able to spread the workload evenly across all muscles and ensure that each muscle is properly rested and recovered before you hit it again. So instead of doing the same exercises in the same order every single time, one of the ways that we can alternate and add variation is to focus on a different muscle group. To illustrate this, I highlighted the cells in yellow, the ones that we want to switch up week to week. Because again, we're talking about the workouts that are on Monday and Thursday because those are the days that we double up on a workout day. In the first week, we start off with a chest focused push day. Then on Thursday, we switch it to a shoulders and triceps focused push day. In week 2, we start off the week with a back and traps focused pull day. Then on Thursday, we do a biceps focused pull day. In week 3, we start with a quads and calves focused leg day. Then on Thursday, we do hamstrings, glutes focused leg day. To understand focus muscle groups a little bit more, it helps to know the basics of compound versus isolation exercises. One of the best ways to prioritize one muscle over another is to do more total volume for a specific muscle. The best way to do this is to understand the difference between compound and isolation exercises. Simply put, compound movements target more than one muscle at a time. Isolation exercises only target one muscle at a time. The good thing about push-pull legs is that all of your compound movements naturally group the right muscles together. For example, on push day, bench press targets chest, shoulders, and triceps at the same time. On pull day, pull-ups target your back and biceps together. And on leg day, doing squats will target your entire lower body. So it's very efficient to do compound movements when doing PPL. However, sometimes you don't want to train every muscle with equal volume or intensity, and this is where isolation exercises come into play. They allow you to target one muscle over another with more volume. And it doesn't mean that you have to neglect doing your compound movements, but it allows you to add volume like at the end of your workout. So for example, if it's a shoulders and triceps focused push day, you still want to do bench press and hit your chest, but maybe throw in some sets of lateral raises or tricep pushdowns. If it's a biceps focused pull day, you can still do all your compound lifts for your back, but throw in some variations of bicep curls at different angles. You can do preacher curls, concentration, hammer curls, you name it. If it's a quads focused leg day, you can still do squats, Romanian deads, Bulgarian split squats, but maybe throw in some isolation work at the end, like leg extensions using the machine. Exercises that specifically target your quads, and then so the next time, if it's a hamstrings focused leg day, you can end the workout with leg curls or hamstring curls. So in this way, you're able to add volume to the muscles that you want to hit specifically within each workout. The third option to doing a 4-day PPL routine is 2 days on, 1 day off, 2 days on, 2 days off. You'll notice that the only difference between this and option number 2 is that with this, you're taking one of the rest days and putting it in the middle of the week. So rather than training 4 days in a row, you're training 2 days, then a day of rest, then another 2 days. What this does is it makes it so you're no longer training the same muscle group on Monday and Thursday. There's an extra rest day that pushes everything back, so it's Monday and Friday. This might not seem like a big deal, but sometimes having that extra day is huge for making sure my muscles are fully recovered. With that being said, you probably won't need to track your focus muscle groups as closely with this option. I still would recommend it for the sake of overall balance, but it won't be as important as in option number 2. If you're still wondering what specific exercises to do on each of the training days, just send me an email to mindbodyprime@gmail.com. If you would rather lift weights 3 days a week, I made a video on a 3-day push-pull legs full body hybrid, and I think that'll help you out. Just click that in the upper corner. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, see ya.